Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. And today, I'm talking to Jimmy again. Last week we did this; it was a lot of fun. And this week, I'm having Jimmy on the pod again because we laughed a lot. We didn't really cry, but we might be crying on this episode from laughter. So we got a awesome recap of the All-Star weekend day. It was just one day that they had everything: the 3-point shootout, the skills competition, slam dunk contest, and the All-Star game. So we'll recap those things, and then we're also gonna decide what new event we would put into All-Star weekend if we could do that. And our lists are pretty good. So without further ado, let's bring in Jimmy.
All right. Well, Jimmy, we're back. We had to have you back. It didn't take that long, did it? We had to do this again.
Only a couple days.
Only a couple days. You're all decked out now. You have a nice mic going and everything. The lighting looks good.
I set it up. Yeah, my $25 Amazon mic, a light that I bought for $8. So
hey, it works.
Really professional.
Well, we're on our way up. Well, we have a lot to talk about. We obviously are going to talk about the All-Star game. We're going to talk about the slam dunk contest, a little bit about the 3-point shootout. But I'm mostly, last week we did this thing where we picked our all-star party team pretty much, and it was epic. I really enjoyed that discussion. So we're doing something fun like that this time around, where this time we really didn't like the slam dunk contest. So we are picking our top 5 new additions to All-Star weekend. So we're going to have a little fun with that, but we're going to leave that till the end. First, we're going to talk about the game. But before I get to the highlights of the game, I wanted to talk to you if you like the way the voting it works for these All-Stars and what your thoughts are on that.
I mean, small market teams get crushed, right? Like how Sabonis got in was a miracle. And
yeah,
it's one of those things. Like it needs to be stat driven, but I don't know that that's going to be perfect either, because you're going to look at the Nets, and you're going to have guys whose stats are probably a little skewed because they're people that are all playing together and stuff like that. So I don't love the voting, but I don't know that I have a better solution to the issue.
Yeah, I almost feel like there could be some kind of formula, because see, I'm big on winning. I'm one of those people that cares about winning games. So like Bradley Beal's in it, and it's hard because I think he deserves it, because I do think he's like a winning player and he puts up the numbers, but he's on a losing team. And so I don't know who had this quote once, but it was something where like someone's gonna have to average 20 points on any team, you know, and so default. By default, exactly. And so somebody is gonna get that, like those empty stats pretty much that are just filler stats. And so I wish there was a formula where it could be like, the number of wins divided by 10 or whatever. So it's like a point or whatever like that. If you have like 40 wins, I don't know how it would work, but
baseball has it like wins above, they call it WAR, right? It's like wins above replacement.
Right.
The thing, if you average, a left fielder for the entirety of the season, the very most average is a 0 WAR or whatever it is for the average player, and then it's like a plus minus, right? And the NBA kind of has that, but I mean, almost I would feel better like leaving it to like the Basketball Writers of America or something like that. I don't even know if that's a thing, but somebody that knows it better than the average fan who's just tweeting it 25 times a day because they love Bradley Beal,
Right. And so that kind of happens with the All-NBA teams, which then that's a whole separate discussion, because then that starts costing people money, because if you're like All-NBA, there's like a bonus in your contract.
Well, same as All-Stars, right?
Right. Yeah, true. And exactly. And so it sucks. Some guys get screwed over. Like this was what ended up bothering me. It was, I don't know if you would call it the West anymore or whatever, which team it was. But once Devin Booker pulled out of the All-Star game, they needed an All-Star replacement. And that's where Mike Conley got the nod. And obviously I'm a DeMar DeRozan fan and everything. But besides that, if you look at their statistics, like DeRozan's numbers, even Mike Conley's a point guard, and DeRozan's got better assist numbers, better rebound numbers, better points per game number. So, and, that's where obviously Conley's on a better team. So that's why I'm saying those things could matter. But then he's the third guy from Utah, and sometimes I feel like the Nets have 3 guys, and the Sixers, who are in first place in the East, have 2 guys. So some stuff like that, obviously, if someone sat down that's really smart, I feel like they could find a formula.
And again, I don't even know. It would probably have to be like some sort of stat base. You're right. But in the meantime, too, like you've got like who just decided Zion was going to be on the team at the last second? You know what I mean, was it just like, hey, who can get on a plane and be here in 24 hours? Like Zion's going to pull names, sure. You want big names, so.
And he ended up starting too, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
Which I know we'll get to this in a second, but at the end of the day, like, can anyone tell me the reason they even had an all-star game? Like, you had the players that were pissed off because they had just come off this crazy season in a bubble. Now they're playing a condensed schedule. Like, money in sponsorship. That's the only thing I can think of is the reason they did it.
Of course. Well, that's the thing with the NBA that at some point I'm like, I don't mind it. It's a business, so just be upfront about it. But when it's like player safeties first, well, not as much, But this is a good point to show some highlights. People, if you didn't watch this game, you missed a lot of scoring. So I went through the highlights. So here are the highlights of the game, and we'll run that now. All right, so Team LeBron against Team Durant, and it was all offense, no defense. Zion with the dunk, then LeBron with the dunk. It was like the dunk contest pretty much in the whole first half. Here, Jokic with the dunk off the beautiful pass from Steph, then Giannis with the layup. Giannis ends up winning MVP here. He did not miss a field goal. Then here, look at this. Steph Curry shoots it, turns around before it goes in. He knows it's going in, though. Steph was feeling it. He was the life of the All-Star game in the first quarter. Look at this 3-ball. Steph was hot from the start. And then look at this. Whoop, shimmy on Harden, pop, buckets. Man, Steph showed just how good of a shooter he is in this game. Look at this shot from the logo. Steph was awesome. Like I said, Giannis wins MVP. Giannis was awesome. He did not miss a field goal. And then look at this. Steph, alley-oop dunk. Steph Curry dunking. All-Star game. That was just awesome to see. They were having a lot of fun out there. I mean, he got up. I didn't know Steph had hops like that. Then look at this. Right before the end of the half. Oh my God. Incredible. There was more half-court shots in this game than there are three-pointers made in some real NBA games. But like I said, Giannis putting the perfect shooting on the line right there with the 3-ball, but got the bank shot. He played a pretty great game, didn't miss a bucket, and then, of course, to close it out, it was going to be Dame time. Dame with the 3-ball there, and then Dame from half-court, forget it. Team LeBron takes this 170 to 150. All right, so Team LeBron wins 170 to 150. This game from the get-go was not really competitive. I mean, I almost felt at one point that the dunk contest was just going to happen during this game. Like they would just clear out because there was no defense. And I get it. Like these guys don't want to get hurt. But it is one of those things. They didn't want to be there. And they did look like they had fun. Like Steph was, having an awesome time. You could tell Giannis and Jokic were having a good time. But it was one of those things where it's almost like I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like someone just being super careless at their job and getting away with it, which whatever. I mean, the fans got entertained. Hey, Steph had an alley-oop slam dunk. That was pretty sick.
Right.
And like you said, and you said Chris Paul also did right after that. That whole sequence to me was a lot of fun. And then Steph like shoots from half court, and makes the bucket. So it was kind of like an awesome show, but it wasn't like an all-star game. Like I didn't, even in the fourth quarter when you think like, all right, this is when it gets competitive, it really wasn't.
Nope. I think, the worst part is we came back to it, a lot of those guys didn't want to be there, and that was reflective in the play. It really was. And so I get it. I wouldn't call it so much work as I would like, if you're in a corporate job and you go to a sales outing or something like that, where, you're still doing it for work, but you're kind of not working. You're just in a professional setting, sort of. And you're right. I mean, one of the things I looked up is this game, you talk about high scoring and lackluster defense, if there was any, was they took 133 3-point attempts in this game.
Oh my God.
No.
How many did they make?
I don't know what it was. Highest ever regular season attempts in a game was an overtime game. And it was 106. And it was a Nets Rockets game, Nets Rockets game in January 19, Nets won 145, 142. Okay.
This year, right?
Everyone was this is 2019.
Oh, 2019.
And
okay.
They beat that by almost 30. So in a game that was 4 quarters, much less overtime, right? So it was like 20 something. So they blew that out of the water. You saw the exchange between where Dame pulled up from like half court with 20 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah.
He came back and like, oh, I want to try that. And he launches one and they both make it. It was ridiculous.
That was a crazy thing that they're making these shots. I mean, even Dame's, like I said, the game winner is from half court. You know, he's just like pulling up, and get this. So I had the over at 320.5. And so I'm rooting, and I also had Team LeBron to win by 4. So I was feeling great about Team LeBron winning by 4. Yeah. So then I was rooting for Team Durant to just score like as many points as they could and make it a little bit close. So at this point, it's like a 17-point game. So I'm like, all right, like a couple more buckets here by Team Durant while like Team LeBron tries some stupid shots until it gets like within 10, and then they like just finish the game. And then Dame pulls up from half court and hits it, and it ends at 320. So I won the one bet, which was a bigger bet, so I'm happy about that. But still, it was just so funny.
You're net positive. So
I was net positive.
You can't be that mad.
I was not mad.
Take your winnings and be happy. But yeah, I mean, it was like they were playing their own game of horse during a game. You know?
Yes, exactly.
It wasn't an all-star game. It was an all-star scrimmage. You know, it was just an exhibition of just kind of, you know, showing off how hard they can dunk. You know. Or in this case, how hard he could not dunk. You know?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Zion. He struggled a little. Even with the interview that they had in game, there was one point he struggled with that too. They like couldn't hear people.
Can you tell me this? Like football does it, baseball does it. Why don't they have basketball players mic'd up during this game? That would be fun. Like
what they
have more a clip or something like that.
So they do, and at one point I think they had staff or something, but. What sucks with that is that obviously, like, there's a team, and I've heard this before through people I know, like, there's a person on every team that pretty much sits there with the camera person or, like, in the truck to approve of everything that, like, ESPN wants to put on their mic'd up. You know, so all the good shit isn't there. Like, I'm like, I want to hear the, like, bad stuff, you know? So
I mean, that was one of the cool things about the bubble, right?
You could hear them.
Really good. I mean, it was like the production value was insane, but you could hear stuff. Like it was really, really kind of cool. And why not do that? Especially when, you know, I mean, it was a terrible enough game as is. And thank God this game was on TNT, because if this was on ESPN or
I wouldn't have watched it.
It would be unbearable. So thank God it was on TNT, because we would just be pulling our teeth out watching.
Agreed. So the two things, I laughed a little when you said the bubble was great because we could hear them, because it's great foreshadowing for one of my top 5 things I want to see.
Okay, all right.
But the other thing,
way different directions then.
Yeah, I think we did. I don't know. We don't know. So we just told each other this is the topic, and let's not talk about it till the pod. So this is good. But the other thing I'm going to do a little side note on here is, man, I don't know why or what's going on with like TNT, but the best thing about them is when they have Shaq and Charles, and lately they have like Dwayne Wade and other players, and I mean, I don't enjoy it as much.
Parker, I like Candace.
Candace, yes,
good.
I do agree.
Like checking Shaq and stuff like that. So she's like filling the bad guy. Like Dwayne Wade's not going to have that dynamic with Shaq. I was not real big when they brought Shaq out. I'm like, we'll see, and it was
me too.
I was just raw.
Yeah, me too. I felt that way.
That original 4 or 5 is just so good.
Yeah, honestly, and they've won a lot of like awards because of it. I mean, to me, it's the best like sports TV show out there. I don't care who's playing, I'll watch them because they're just, you know, Kenny is good. He's like the basketball mind almost. Ernie, obviously, is just awesome. And then you have Shaq and Charles.
Everybody in all the time. I mean, he's a wrangled cat.
Right. You know? He's a great like ringleader, ringmaster, host, whatever you want to call him. But it's like he's just awesome. Right. But all right, so I mean that was the All-Star game. They had it.
One quick thing. Can I add one quick thing?
Yeah,
we talked about this when we were texting about it. I could not wrap my head around the fact it was Mike Conley's first All-Star game ever.
Yeah, so actually, I heard this argument by Bill Simmons, the Podfather, as he's known, who talks about how when Conley didn't make the All-Star team originally, he said it's the best thing that could have happened for him because it helps his Hall of Fame case. Because they would be like, he never made people would be like, he never made an All-Star game and he's amazing.
Yeah,
and
whole
then
narrative, I guess.
yeah, but yeah, he never made one, so it's really insane. And yeah, we were texting about it because at one point he was the highest paid NBA guy when the big
Which I
contracts
even
started
forgot
being.
about, because we talked about right before. So when the NBA was like right before when COVID was going on, before the bubble,
Yeah,
we were like shooting stuff off on Instagram, and like Mike Conley's house has like this crazy full court gym in it and stuff.
yep.
And I texted him like, man, I did not realize how much money Mike Conley made, and you guys like sent me a link. He's made like over 300 million
Yeah,
just salary earnings.
he was the first one to get $150 million max deal. I remember.
Like
Yeah, me too. I'm a big Mike Conley guy. All those guys that came from that Memphis, like the great grind city or whatever it was called, and it was like Gasol, Conley, Zach Randolph, those guys, Tony Allen. So it was cool. So, all right. Well, the other things that went on yesterday were the skills competition, which, I wanted to see Luka win, but Luka just, I feel like didn't care. Luka just didn't care. So whatever. He always looks hurt to me. Also, Luka, like he's just like in pain. But
yeah, like I mean, he turns it on when he turns it on. I mean, the one that I was like, I'm like, all right, Chris Paul. The older he gets, the longer he's in the league, the more I absolutely love him. I really do. I wish he had a stint with the Bulls. It'd be great. But he missed a wide open layup. He was freezing by whoever he was against.
Yeah.
It might have been. I don't know.
Chris Paul is someone, by the way, that I've learned to appreciate. I did not like Chris Paul like 3 seasons ago, but now when he went to the Thunder and was a professional and, helped build them up to a competitive team now with the Suns. So he's awesome. So we had the skills competition, which not much to talk about, but there was a 3-point contest, which to me was probably the best part of the night, and also the slam dunk. Yeah, and the slam dunk contest. So here's some highlights from those 2 events, and then we'll recap them real quick.
All right, so you saw what Steph Curry did in the All-Star game. But before the All-Star game, Steph Curry put on quite the performance at the 3-point shootout. This man showed everybody why he's the greatest shooter of all time. I mean, he, like in this rack, for example, this is just like a layup for him. It's crazy how his shooting is just so perfect. And then they created the Mountain Dew ball from further out, and of course Steph is just nailing them. So in the first round, Steph ends up with 31. So that's a pretty good score to have in the first round, just getting warmed up. And then obviously that was enough to push him to the finals, where they're in the finals of the 3-point shootout. He faced Mike Conley, and Conley dropped 27, which was a great score. And then, I mean, Steph at the start of this, it looked like he was going to have to catch fire to catch up to Mike Conley, and he did. I mean, he gets the Mountain Dew ball right there. Those are crucial. He gets the other one right here, buckets, and then he just starts going. 15, he's 12 behind, and then he got going. I mean, Steph at this point just warmed up. This is his money ball rack, and he hit 4 out of 5. And at that point, Mike Conley, I think he could tell it was pretty much over. But the drama was awesome at the end. He needed to make this last one because he missed right there to win. So here he's down by 1, and now he's up by 1. And that's the victory right there. Steph Curry, victorious. I mean, it was good to see Mike Conley in there, but it was also awesome to just see Steph put on that kind of performance. So Steph Curry takes home the crown. He's the 3-point shooting champ. He's won it before, and he won it again. And so now we go to the dunk contest, where it was Cassius Stanley who had, to me, this was probably the cleanest, best dunk of the whole contest. I mean, he did it on his first try. Look at this. He got up there. It was clean. Bang. And he was up there, too. Then Obi Toppin. This, at first, didn't look like much because it was so fast, but it was actually a pretty sick dunk. He bounces it in between his legs and then threw it home. And then Anthony Simons does this where he jumped and got it from probably, it looks like about 12 feet up there to dunk it down. So, all right, creativity, not bad. Second round, the dunk got a little worse. This Cassius Stanley was pretty much his plan B because he missed his main dunk that he was trying in that round like 2 times. Then Anthony Simons has that pretty sick dunk. And then Obi Toppin jumps over his dad and his teammate Julius Randle. So to the finals we go, and that was the dunk that Obi Toppin decided to bring to the finals. Pretty clean, pretty good. Obviously, we've seen something similar before, but he puts it home. And then Anthony Simons goes to this, which looked like a regular dunk. And then the judges somehow decided that this was enough and better than that Obi Toppin dunk, which I mean, you make the call, but he didn't even, I guess, was gonna try to kiss the rim, and he, didn't. So that was the dunk contest, or lack thereof.
So Anthony Simons wins the slam dunk contest, which why did he win?
Slam dunk contest
Ever. And the best dunk was probably the first dunk of the night by the guy who got like a 46 for it, because nobody knows who he is anyway. And that was probably the best dunk. Obi Toppin was cool. The first one that Simons did was also cool. But then, I'm sorry, but the last two in the finals, and it was Obi Toppin who did, I thought, like, at least something semi-impressive. And then the other kid comes in.
Creative, right? You know?
Yeah, and then the other kid comes in and does this, like, kiss the rim. And
off by about 2 feet.
Yes. So, and even, okay, had he actually kissed the rim, it's like lame. I mean, it's hard. So that's why I would understand him winning, because you got to concentrate on kissing the rim.
Yeah.
But what? I don't know. I thought it was trash. And I mean, who are these? Man, why don't the top guys want to do this? Like,
so the only way it's going to come back to prominence is if they just say, hey, $10 million, you know, whoever wins it, you know, or what, they put something crazy. And you know, it's going to be a bad dunk contest when there's a guy competing who has never dunked in his NBA career. Cassius Stanley has never dunked in an NBA game, and he's competing in the dunk contest.
Yeah,
so,
how?
I don't get it. I mean, so I wrote down that can we please make a rule? No more jumping over people. It's stupid. No more jumping over, or no more putting the rim too high. It's stupid. Like, enough of it. Like, the Kia thing was cool and Blake did it. Like, and actually over the Philly Fanatic was cool, but
no, it was Orlando.
People duck.
Stuff.
It's not that. Yeah, it's not. You don't get it. It doesn't have the same thing as if you do it in person. Let's be done with that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's just funny, man. It's crazy how far player empowerments come, where we're like, you know, where we'll get them there, $10 million. It's like in any other job, you know, if they're like, hey, we're sending you out to this for your job, you don't ask for extra money. Like, it's just your job. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I think sometimes that stuff goes too far. But, I mean, aside from that, like, I don't know if there's pride or anything. But these guys, I think, like.
Pride, it might be.
It might be
pride, because can you imagine, like, LeBron going up and then, like, Zion comes in and blows him away? LeBron doesn't want to lose a dunk contest.
Oh, that's exactly. So I was watching it with Sonia, my girlfriend, and she's like, who are these guys? Why aren't the good guys doing it? Like, you know, LeBron or whatever. And I'm like, probably because, you know, Jordan won a dunk contest. If LeBron comes over here and doesn't, there's another argument. Like, he only has something to lose, essentially. But at the same time, like,
Jordan lost a dunk contest too. So
just go for it.
Who
like,
cares? It's a dunk contest. Like, no one's gonna put that on your resume.
Right. And I mean, forget it. Not even LeBron at this point. Like, you know, he's older now. But some of these young guys like Zion or Ja Morant, you know, like Ja would be awesome, you know. So I don't know. Who knows? But that was the worst part for me of the whole night. But then, you know, the 3-point contest. God, man, Steph Curry's.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think he saved the night, to be honest, with the 3-point contest. And then in the All-Star game, in the beginning, he's the one that had the energy, was making all these shots. I thought he was going to win MVP for sure until, you know, Giannis made like three-pointers that were all like bank shots eventually. But
at one point, wasn't he like 12 for 12?
He finished perfect. He finished 16 for 16. Okay. And when he was 12 for 12, he shot a 3, and the announcer's like, no, and he banked it in. So it's crazy. But yeah, the 3-point contest, just Steph is just cool. Incredible.
The only thing that I wrote down on that was like, it was funny because Jaylen Brown, I think, was the first one, and he couldn't hear. Like,
yeah. They were like, go.
Alarm never went off, so he was like, go. They're like, the ball boys like yelling at him to go. It's kind of funny.
I noticed that.
Mountain Dew ball is stupid. Can we be done with that? Like,
this is why I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid because it's meant for Steph Curry and Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
You know, because
what was funny was hearing like the TNT crew try to add it up, and they're like, "No, it's 20. No, maybe it's 22." And they're like, "They can't quick enough." That was pretty funny.
Well,
so I was give that credit. It gave us good time.
I was confused too because Donovan Mitchell had 19 and it said 22 to not be eliminated, and he was down to the last money ball and he made it, and then they were like, yeah, that's 3 points. I was like, I thought it was a 2-point money ball. I was so confused too at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I agree that the extra, like the Green Mountain Dew ball or whatever, like Steph, notice Steph went 3 for 4 on those, by the way.
Yeah, and Steph is just a cheat code. Like, I mean, he is like Chuck just kept saying, or somebody kept saying, like, he's a video game. He really is.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear Reggie Miller call that, right? Because the evolution of Reggie Miller has traditionally been, oh yeah, Steph is one of the best. Steph is one of the best. Steph can hang with the greats like me and Ray Allen and all these guys. To him doing a total 180 finally, it's like he's the greatest shooter of all time. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't even, and that's Reggie Miller thing, who's, you know, an egotistical guy and super prideful in his game in an era that he would excel at now. He'd be incredible now, but he has just given up and he's like, Steph is the best.
Yeah, unreal. So, yeah, so at least the 3-point shootout was fun. And speaking of 3-pointers, it's funny because at one point I tweeted, I was like, this PA announcer is going to need like 5 or 75 cough drops after this because all I could hear, it's still in my head. He's like, 4-3. You heard that over and over. I was like, at this point, we get it. You could just be like, for 3.
Yeah, man.
Like, we don't have to have the whole.
Just get a sound bar. Like, we just have the 6 programmed in and we change the volume a little bit.
Seriously. So, all right.
Okay,
well, yeah, go.
Question. Of the skills competition, the 3-point contest, and the dunk contest. Now, you can dunk. You're an incredible athlete. I have never been able to dunk, much less now. I just struggled running a 5K today and almost died. Do you realistically think that you could be better at one of the 3? And could you compete and make it through the first round as one of those 3?
No. Like the dunk contest. No, the dunk contest definitely not, because I can barely dunk. So it'd be like dunk contest. No. 3-point shootout. Also, I don't think so, because some of these
1 whole year to train for.
One whole year. I have a year to train.
I just added that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that was. I'm like, things changed a little. Dunk contest still is a no. No dunk contest. 3-point shootout. I'm just gonna be modest and say no. But the skills competition, that I think I could, because that takes a lot of it takes luck, because literally it's just like the thing I'd be almost more nervous for is just to pass through the rim. That's it. Because other than
the transition 3, I would shit my pants.
But even that's why I think I could do it, because it's just a pass through the hoop, and then I would run fast. Obviously, like these guys are like, I would run.
Not like Luka. Luka would take his warm up off. Like,
yeah, exactly. So the layup I could do easy. I'd do the layup, run right back really fast, so I could chuck up like 5 3-pointers, and I'm gonna make one of them. So I do think even if I didn't have a year to practice, I think that I could do, and I could eat a lot of Taco Bell.
3-point. I would take the 3-point contest because I don't have good cardio. I'm not built for speed. It's not my game. So I think if you give me a year, I could realistically be competitive. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I also will say this, that having done a lot of halftime shows, the 3-point line is farther than you think when you're at an NBA arena, like on the floor.
The ball is like 5 feet beyond the arc.
Yeah, no, yeah. Those are like, even the regular corner 3, like those are obviously the closest shot, but at like top of the key, those are further, because at any gym that you go and you play like YMCA or whatever, those are like collegiate, if not a little closer. So when you get to the NBA, you're like, oh shit, this is further. So, but yeah, that's a good question. I like that question. Skills challenge, plus I could eat a lot of Taco Bell. And I think they're still sponsored by Taco Bell, so I'm good with that. All right, let's get to the best part. The best part of this is obviously our list. We have 5, and I have a couple honorable mentions because I did not struggle getting some ideas for this. So if we were to take away the slam dunk contest, because it feels like it's just washed up now, and we're going to replace it with blank. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
So I'll go first.
All right.
I've got some good honorable mentions. So we'll get to those afterwards, because they might be in yours. And also, you mentioned something about yours, and I think I took this in a wildly different direction. So let's just see what happens. Okay.
All right.
So the first one that I would do is the father-son Crawl Star game.
Crawl Star game.
Now, I looked this up. So there's been approximately 100 NBA players that have had sons that have made it to the NBA. Okay.
Okay.
So this would be a 12-minute half game. We call it the father first half and the son second half. Okay.
All right.
And I just chose 5 versus 5 because right now there's about 20 to 22, something like that, former NBA players. And I'm counting even like 1 year of service. I had to
Right.
And I'm also counting if their son is in the G League. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, counts.
So
Gary Payton Jr.
He's on my list. So my 5 versus 5 that I'd love to see is Manute Bol and Bol Bol.
And Bol. Oh my God.
Hysterical.
So wait, real quick. The old guys are playing the young guys?
No, the old guys are playing the other team of old guys in the first half. So I'm going to give you 2 teams.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 10 old guys and 10 young
And
guys.
young guys. Got it. Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to divide them team versus team.
I like it.
This took me a long time.
No, but this is good. I love this. All right.
Okay. So we've got Manute Bol and Bol Bol on team
All right.
1. Michael and Klay Thompson, team 1.
Oh,
Austin and Doc Rivers, because I think Doc Rivers running the court he'd be like sweating that like,
dude.
fake
Yes.
stuff out. Melvin Booker and Devin Booker.
Oh, I didn't know Devin Booker's dad played.
So I had a stretch on Melvin Booker. He played 1 year for the Spurs for like half a year or something like that. It was a quick little spot he played.
All right.
And then the G League side would be John Stockton and David Stockton. He plays in the G League, right? So each team's gonna have 1 G League dude.
Right.
John Stockton can probably still just hustle everybody, in my mind. Now, the team they're playing, a lot of juniors on this team, okay? We got the Sabonis family, because
Yes.
I'd love to see them.
Yes.
We got Dell and Steph Curry.
Oh,
And you've got the juniors. You've got Tim Hardaway and Tim Jr., Jaren Jackson and Jaren Jr., and then Gary Payton and Gary Jr., because his son plays in the G League
yep.
as well. So those are my guys. You can't tell me that a first half of 50-something-year-old dudes just running an old school YMCA game versus young guns would not be awesome.
Dude. Okay. And then what you're saying is the combined score is the final score.
Yeah. 100%.
Dude. I can't believe you came up with this in a day. This is better than like the celebrity all-star game and this other stuff. I love this.
Because I'm thinking like, all right, the America versus world game is boring. The freshman versus sophomore game is boring. So I'm thinking like, let's just replace that.
No, I love this, Jimmy. This idea.
There are a ton. There are cool ones like Corey Crowder and Jay Crowder. They're on there. They left them off. Kenyon Martin and his son plays in the G League. Left them off. Larry Nance Jr. left them off. Sonny and Jabari Parker left them off. Andrew Wiggins, Mitchell Wiggins. There's a bunch that you actually don't know that their dad maybe played like 1 year.
That's true. Man,
So
I love this.
Crawl Star game. Put it in the books, NBA. You hear it.
Dang. If somehow this gets back to the league, like they better give you a percentage because this is genius
Or give me
thinking.
a job. That'd be cool,
All right. I love it, Jimmy. You definitely took this in a different direction. Mine are not as real as yours because my number 1 is the flopping competition where we will feature Marcus Smart. We will feature Draymond Green. All of these guys. And this is where I'm saying for this category, I'm anti-player empowerment because it's your job. I don't care if you don't want to do it. This is your job. You have to go. And you have to do the best at your job as you can. And I do believe that if you get the calls, credit to you on the flopping, buddy. Good job. So we need to honor that. And we're going to have them stand there and it'll be something where they're standing and someone just gives them a little elbow, but they don't know whether it's like a shoulder nug or like a little like leg hit. And they just got to flop on command. And then.
So can I add an interesting wrinkle to this?
Yes.
You've got referees on both sides. And if somebody draws a charge, boom, points.
Dang. That's true. But I wasn't going to have them going against the competitors.
See, this, again, let me add a wrinkle.
I like this.
To vote on who they're going up against.
Okay.
So we could put like Lance Stevenson against LeBron. He's just like blown in his face and he flops or something.
Yeah.
Get in their heads a little bit.
I like it. I mean, that's really good. All right, that was my number one, but not compared to your number one. What's your number two?
Okay, so my next ones are a little bit goofy, if I'm honest.
All right, good. Let's go. Let's go.
The next one's going to be a coloring contest. And what it's going to happen is on Monday before the All-Star game, so what they're going to do is they're going to have like the picks, they're going to pick Team LeBron, Team KD.
Yeah.
And then everyone's immediately going to be socially distant in a big table, kindergarten teacher. And they're going to get a piece of paper with a blank jersey and blank shorts and a box of crayons. And the best designed 2 jerseys, Nike has to make those that week, and that's what they wear.
I love it. Who's voting on the jersey designs?
Fan vote, 100% fan vote.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
And we don't put their names on it, so you don't know who LeBron's is, you don't know who Kevin Durant's is. Like maybe Sabonis is just he's got this great penmanship, comes up with something cool. Like, can you imagine if like Chris Paul has like watercolors done on his or something cool?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Make the All-Star game, the All-Star players legitimate. Don't allow the fan to vote for this because the fan is just voting for Kyrie or for Harden. Harden's missed like 13 games this season and was a diva with the Rockets to get out of there. Put the guys in that deserve to be there, and then have the people at home, like even with the slam dunk contest, have people at home just vote. Let the fans do that part. I love this. That's a genius idea.
With coloring contest. Like, you remember, and this was all inspired by me going to the grocery store today. Do you remember like the coloring contest that Jewel used to have, where it was like turkey for the kids, and they'll hang it behind the bank.
Yep. I love it.
Jewel
yeah, good job, Jimmy. All right, my number 2 is called the Oh My God Skills Challenge, where we're just gonna have the best yellers in the NBA lineup.
Can the fans vote on what they're yelling too? Because that would be even funnier. Like they have to yell, "Oh, porcupine!" There's just something like totally off the wall.
That's how I wrote it too. It's OHMYGAWD. It's the Oh My God. Yeah.
All cap.
A foul, ref. That's a foul. So
you could have like the decibel meter in the corner.
Oh, don't worry, I'm getting to that. So that's the skills challenge for me. What's your number 3?
Okay. So my number 3, and I think this is my best one, and maybe the most realistic, a fashion show. All right.
Because this is realistic. They already do that anyway.
Every one of these dudes is all like, everyone's fashion forward these days, right? So you've got so many guys that would, I think, realistically do this. And this is how you would open All-Star game, right? So before they pick the teams and they're lining up like kickball, you've got everybody introduced and they go down a catwalk, right? And you've got like Tyra Banks, you've got Tom Ford, you've got I don't know, I didn't know stylists, but you've got like these fashion gurus, right? And they're writing their look. So you could pivot this, right? Because look at the dudes like KD, Kawhi, LeBron, Steph, Kyrie, like they all have their own brand, a line of stuff. Make it limited edition. Like that's the shoes they wear then to the game or whatever. Run some like, cool stuff with like, Calvin Klein or, I don't know, whoever. That could be cool and actually happen. And again, like the designers and fan vote, whatever.
Dang, I love it. I mean, because that one's realistic. So I'm with you on that one.
Plausible.
Very plausible.
These guys' Instagram is not them playing basketball. It's them pumping whatever they're wearing.
That's true. All right. My number 3, I told you there would be a little like sound meter. So you know how NBA arenas, they're like louder, louder, and they measure the sound.
Right.
They do that anyway. So obviously once fans come back, it's called the pumpometer. The pumpometer is made for guys like Russell Westbrook, Joel Embiid, where they got to make a play happen, and then they got to pump up the crowd.
Okay.
And then the winner is based on this pumpometer, and the guy that pumps up the crowd the loudest, that's the guy that wins this prestigious award.
I love this because you're getting the crowd involved, right?
Right.
And so that's always electric, right? Why is the dunk contest fun when there's people there? Because people are cheering and they're loud.
Right.
All other things.
So he could, Dame's is cool, but wouldn't work for this because when he just does this, Dame time, there's not much to it. But when Westbrook has a dunk, he's like, and he's like, You know, like the
Right.
people, oh man. And then that's where it's like, again, we're
LeBron doing
giving,
the stomping.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
we're giving the fans some love and putting some power into the fans' hands. So,
Okay.
all right. So let's recap so far.
My top three so
Yeah.
far. I've got the father-son crawl star game.
Yeah, great
I
one.
might need a lot of paramedics on standby. I have a coloring contest, which will dictate what jerseys will be worn.
Love it.
And then I think the most realistic, the fashion show, is number 3 so far.
So far, I think that's definitely more realistic. I have the flopping competition. Oh my God, skills challenge. And the pump-o-meter so far. So, genius.
I need to work on the name for the pump-o-meter.
Yeah. So, genius ideas so far.
It.
Yeah, we'll workshop it. Jimmy, what's your number 4?
So number 4, because I just think this is comedic value at this point. I'd love to see a hot dog eating contest because I think that there are going to be dudes that would surprise the hell out of you. And I think Luca could put down like 10 to 12 hot dogs. And I say this because we tried this one.
Man.
You remember my buddy Jeff Crone? He's a great guy. He's controller.
Yeah.
And his wife's side of the family does family fun day every year. Everyone's outside doing all sorts of games, and you pick teams, tons of people, but it ends in a hot dog eating contest. Now you think you could put down some dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I won, and I put down like 12.
I did a hot dog eating contest in college, and I thought I could eat a lot, and I only ate 7. But we had a 5-minute, a 10-minute limit or something like that, and I ate 7. And I also, I hate it. I still don't like drinking water. I know, stupid, but it's true. So I drank it with Mountain Dew. That probably didn't help.
I think it would be hilarious to watch, LeBron dunking his in his vitamin water, and somebody's being like, "I'm sponsored by Sprite" or whatever.
So can I have a suggestion to this idea? Because I think this will make it much more real. Did you see? Well, during this game, at one point, LeBron was in the sideline on the bench eating his granola bars. So we do it so it's something that sponsors the NBA.
Yeah.
So
contest would be hysterical.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be hot dogs, but there was the whole thing about peanut butter and jelly sandwich eating contest. Boom.
Who was it? Like San Antonio had the best or whatever.
Dang, there's so many good people for this.
I'd love to see like Zion go up against.
That was the guy I was thinking.
Tiny.
Yeah. I was like, Zion could probably take down a lot.
College, he can put down, at least a dozen dogs.
Dude.
I think there's going to be someone who's going to surprise you. Like, you're just going to be sitting there and you'd be like, Ja Morant is on 14 hot dogs. And can you imagine Chuck? I'm just in the.
Oh my God.
Like everybody's just yelling, like, no, they're not. Like, the energy would be.
It would be awesome, dude. I love it. And I agree, man. It's just, these are genius. But this kind of sparking the conversation for next week when we do this again, probably. And next week, we can just actually have our contestants for these things. Like, who are your top 5 sneaky picks for the hot dog eating contest? It's peanut butter and jelly sandwich eating contest.
Kendrick Perkins and everyone else.
Dang, dude. All right. Well, number 4. My number 4 is not as exciting. Not going to lie. This one's kind of meh. But I wanted to somehow not make it so individual. So here I'm highlighting the teams. So this is called the Team Hold Me Back Challenge. Because all these guys are full of crap. They're all full of shit when they want to fight. And they're just all about the hold me back, hold me back. So this is almost working on their acting skills. And we could have like Leonardo DiCaprio, we could have Denzel. These guys could be the judge. And it could be like the hold me back challenge. So somebody just throws a ball, it hits Joel Embiid, and then boom. That's when Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, all these guys got to be like, yo, man, and hold me back, hold me back.
And you could bring in some great celebrities. I mean, think of how many big celebrities are basketball fans.
Yeah.
Everyone would be lining up for that. It's a 5-minute gig at the All-Star game, rubbing elbows with, the best athletes in the world. You get a cool A-list, like 5 people there.
For sure. So that's the only good part of this one, because it was kind of lame, but I was like, I want to involve the team somehow. So that was mine. All right. Okay, on to number 5.
So my 5 is arm wrestling, because I think it would be hysterical to watch them go up. I mean, again, Zion is going to be the front runner on that one.
I know. I keep thinking
of like some dudes that are like sneaky, like scary.
No, like I think Andre Iguodala, because he's like ripped.
Yeah,
I feel
Draymond is probably sneaky strong. I bet Draymond's got like fat guy strength. Like,
yeah, he does.
Probably sneaky strong.
Dang,
or like
man.
a really old, like a super old, savvy veteran. Like I don't know who it would be, but someone who's been in the league, 15. Like maybe JJ Redick has an arm of steel, and he
does put up a lot of shots, so maybe.
Like who knows?
Like Carmelo's an older guy, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? Like the over the top contest, we name it. Sylvester Stallone is absolutely the moderator from the movie in the same weird trucking outfit he's wearing.
Wait, he's the moderator? We need that.
You've never seen the movie? You've never seen the movie Over the Top?
No. All right.
Sylvester Stallone smash hit about arm wrestling?
All right, well, then we need like the bouncing ball captions underneath when he speaks.
Oh my God. Yeah, but he would be mic'd up. It would be
all right.
Win-win for everybody.
I love it. Good list, Jimmy. All right.
A lot of thought into these. I was very proud of my list.
This is where mine gets a little comical. I just feel like this would be very funny to watch. This is called the block charge competition, but it involves a guy. So it's kind of like the skills challenge where you got to go through like different obstacles and run the court. So they got to run, get to a spot, stay still, and then just lean back and fall.
Lean into it, okay.
So it's like a timed challenge, but also with the best block charge, pose, and fall.
Just tip over.
Yeah, so that's my number 5. I may have lost some juice by that point, but that was my number 5.
That's okay. So my honorable mentions, I had a similar one as an honorable mention.
Okay.
And it was a referee contest.
Oh, I have an honorable mention with a referee stuff too. Yeah, what's yours?
I'd love to see the referees do a 3-point contest, like top 5 refs.
Oh shit!
Contest.
Yeah.
If refs could dunk, those dudes are all in shape. I mean,
that's true.
Accidentally, they have to run several miles a night. So that was an honorable mention. My other honorable mention was, how funny would it be to see these guys do a spelling bee? I mean, I would give anything to see.
Yes.
Kobe White. I mean, a lot of these guys, and I don't mean that like as a slight, but a lot of these guys are like, they skated through school their whole lives.
Right. They were on D1 scholarships or AAU teams. Yep.
Exactly. And so
hippopotamus.
Spelling bee would be hysterical. And especially how many guys have migrated to the U.S. because of
oh my God, yeah, Jokic and some of these guys.
Like,
immigrant, yeah.
They're gonna be like, I don't know what that word is, like, or they have to spell it in their native language. I don't know, whatever.
Oh man, those are good. Are those your 2?
Those are my 2 honorable mentions.
I have 4 honorable mentions. Number 1, because you mentioned the referee. This one's called Ref Make the Call. Ref Make the Call. Okay. And it's gonna be just kind of like a spelling bee, but it just pops up on the screen like travel. He's got to react real quick and do a really good travel logo. So it's like quick thinking. It's like that game that people play on their iPhones. Yeah, Heads Up. Is that what it's called? Yeah. And so it's got to be like blocking foul. And then they got to be like, the blocking foul thing. And some of these refs, have you seen them? Some of them are like super like flamboyant with it and out there with it. So they're animated. Yeah. So that was one honorable mention. The other one is I wanted to show the head coaches some love. So I have the coach argument skills challenge.
Okay.
And so this one, it's probably not a good time to do it during COVID, but I want to see some fucking spit. I want to see some passion. I want to see them, yelling at somebody. The Utah Jazz coach. Yes, exactly. Yeah. The Utah Jazz coach, Quinn Snyder, I feel like his hair starts going all over the place, and I want that.
Who was the guy who was so sweaty? Who's the dude that was like just drenched at the end of everything?
I don't know, but Steve Kerr has broken a couple clipboards. I want to see that. Let's see it.
Right, yeah.
So I like that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, showing the coaches some love. This one's lame, but the team celebration challenge. Football, nowadays the defensive backs get an interception. Right. They all do some stupid shit or a touchdown. I want to see the team celebrate, but it's going to be laid out in the form of a game winner. So, every team in the NBA competes at this. So you give the ball to Zach LaVine, and he has to shoot the jump shot, and he has to make it. So there's a little bit of pressure there because if he misses it, the team can't celebrate. So they're like out.
Okay.
And then if he makes it, though, that's when Kobe White and Markin and all these guys run up to him and they do the game-winning celebration.
And then it's game on. Then you hit record and you see what.
And then it's on.
I got it.
And then the last one is also kind of stupid. It's just a free throw routine challenge. And I want to see some like cool routine at the free throw line.
Ooh.
And they got to make the free throw too. Because if you miss it after all this shit, it doesn't matter.
Like a dunk contest. Yeah, you've got to make the dunk.
You got to make the free throw.
That puts two in my head just now that we've talked about this. That would be fun, right?
All right.
Number one, tip-off challenge. It's just a tip. You get all the guys.
That's what it should be called. Just a tip.
Just
There's the name right there.
You involve the ref. It would be so fast. I mean, that would take 10 minutes for 10 guys at most.
Not even.
Real fast.
Yeah.
That would be hysterical. So a tip-off challenge. And then a free throw challenge, which is just the longest consecutive make the free throws you could.
Oh, that I like. But these guys might be too good. But we'd be there all. That might be. Oh, that's good then. So that way.
You got all competitors at the same time. You get a ball, 10 seconds. Boom. Another 10 seconds.
Boom.
Another 10 seconds.
If you miss, you're out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
I like that. I like that. But I would probably make it a 3-point contest because some of these guys are just like. JJ Redick had made like the first 80 free throws he shot this year. So for TV purposes, I'll talk to the league. We might have to secure the line back. Well, I love this list. This was a lot of fun. I really think you had some realistic ones in there with the fashion show.
I don't know.
That was a good one. And the peanut butter / hot dog eating contest one was good too. Out of mine, I think my oh my God one is my favorite. Yeah.
I got one thing I'd like to jump in here before we do that. So what do you think of all the professional sports all-star games? Rank them. And let's just go baseball, basketball,
all right.
Football, hockey.
Is baseball still doing the home field for the World Series with the All-Star game?
I think so.
If they are, that's number one for me because I like it because it matters. And you still get to see all the stars and they're still, showing their skills.
Yeah.
But
the Derby's awesome.
Awesome. Home run derby's fun. Awesome. So baseball, number one. I would have said, by default, basketball is number two. And then I don't even watch hockey, but hockey's got to be number three because football is now just them playing video games.
Dead last. And football is dead last. I don't think anyone would say
because they're just so.
Watched the Pro Bowl? I don't think I've ever.
When I was younger and I cared, and the Vikings were so bad that they wouldn't make the playoffs, and they would just make like 5 Pro Bowlers, so I could watch them there.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. What about you?
Definitely last. So I think hockey figured it out. The hockey's skill competition is awesome.
That's true. I did see some of that.
Really good. And they're the first league that did. They are the ones that innovated the whole. Okay, we're gonna do the 2 captains or whatever. No, that's somebody else.
I didn't know that.
Maybe like Sidney Crosby, and they did line them up like kickball. They picked their players, and they're all boys. And the last person got like a truck or something. So it's kind of like the Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
They gave like the last guy picked.
Well, that's the thing I hate with the NBA. They need to do that stuff in person, but they're also worried about hurting somebody's feelings or something. That literally was the reason. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So I think hockey is probably number one for me. Baseball is number 2, and this is where I agonize because the All-Star game for me in NBA used to be the number 1.
It used to be. I agree. Yeah.
I don't think it is anymore. I think baseball's number 2 only because of the home run derby. It's electric.
Mm-hmm.
3 is basketball. And
bark.
Yeah. How can you not love that?
I know. I love it.
100 little kids in the outfield all trying to catch the ball. It's fantastic.
It is. It's awesome. Yeah, I do like that.
And we both hate the Pro Bowl, so everyone.
Essentially, yes. Yeah. Damn. Well, all right, Jimmy. Well, that'll do it for this episode because, but it was just so much fun. I can't wait for me to post this and put it out there for the people to laugh, hopefully, with us. This is
ready
funny.
For you whenever you need me again. I'm always in the bullpen.
Well, I think by popular demand, you might be called back really soon. So I think our group text is really loving this. So hopefully they keep loving it.
Give the people what they want.
All right, Jimmy. Well, thank you for joining me. We'll do this again really soon.
Yeah, buddy. I love you. Okay.
All right. Bye.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. That was a lot of fun. So many good ideas that we had. I hope the NBA considers us for their next All-Star weekend planners. But all right, anyway, well, I'll come back with another episode later this week as I'll start to preview and look into the second half of the NBA season, which is coming up in a couple days, and we'll look ahead to that and see what else is happening in the sports world. Thanks again, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Thank you.